Namaste, good morning. As you know very well that from Natya Shastra times there has been an interrelationship of music, dance and theatre. It is Sangeet, where music and dance are as much part of drama. Over the years, the development from Rupaka to Uparupaka, solo dance styles, you have seen the whole history. What we are discussing these days is folk drama or folk theatre, which is the Lokanatya. Lokanatya or folk drama exists in India in such forms as Bhavai, Tamasha, Manch, Bhand. They do not conform to the rules defined by Bharata Muni, but in the Natya Shastra, but they have their set of rules still based on Natya Shastra. The content of these folk theatres is a mix of wit and wisdom, spiritual discourse and matters related to religion. The performers and the dramatic troupes are spread across the nation. The medium of instruction or language is not any specifically grammatically correct language, but belongs to the people of that region. The intention of this plays is to make the audiences understand the context by performing in the native language of the region, so that more and more people can relate to it. In a big and diverse country like ours, India, the dialect of people changes at short geographical distances. Bar gawe boli badlai. Also, depending on the ethnicity, the meaning and pronunciation of the words keep changing. So, if we look into the origin of the word Bhavai, one of the great scholars, Harilal Dhruv, has indicated the origin of the word Bhavai from Bhava Shiva and Bhava Sutradhar. Late Sri Narsimha Rao has debunked the first origin and opined that it is virtually impossible for words popularized from Sanskrit plays to have any similarity or find place in the folk form such as Bhavai. On the later, Narsimha Rao feels, without the personification of a Sutradhar, the word Bhav is not synonymous with Nata. It is possible that the word Bhavai and the performers Bhavaiyas may owe a common root of origin. Late Daulat Rai Mankad sought corollary on the phrase Bhava Prakashanam to support the association of Bhava with Nata. He said that Nat can be equated with Bhava. There used to be plays dealing mainly with emotions or Bhava. Plays in which you find Bhava Nirupan become dance oriented subgroups. The subgroups developed first, continuing the main emotional theme and look of the play. Thereby it earned the term Bhava. Let's look into the history briefly. Asait Brahmin is credited to be the originator of the Bhavai art form in a systematic manner. The manuscripts of Asait's third story, Hansauli, have been discovered. Based on the completion of the story, Sri K. Shastri puts the era of Asait roughly between 1320 to 1319 AD. Based on the available resources during the rule of Mughal Taglak Asai Asharam was born in a village named Siddhpur in Gujarat. The three of his brothers blended with other families to form a Ter Ghar community, from which he earned the nomenclature Ter Ghar Wala, which evolved into Targala and later to Targala. Being indebted to the legendary epic writer and orator Maharshi Vedvyas, the tribe of story writer tellers are also addressed to as Vyas. Being a good writer, Asait became famous and was addressed as Vyas. Over a period of time, he understood that people were more interested in seeing as well as listening to stories against the prevalent custom of only listening to the stories. He expanded the boundaries of the story and storytelling. He promoted the art of folk play in order to make it universally acceptable. He infused it with spiritual and religious elements. The play began with an invocation worshipping the female deity. One can see here the Shruti and Drashya and Shravya Kavyas. Folklore has it that Asait was successful in impressing upon goddess Umya through worship. The goddess gave him accessories like hair wig, bangles and women's bodies, and instructed him to make an actor wear them and impersonate Mata Umya on stage with worshipping her. This is how Asait introduced the concept of Vesh or characterization in Bhavai. Till date, all Bhavai begin unfailingly with an invocation to various goddesses. Every year, when a travelling Bhavai group begins its journey, it fixes an auspicious time and performs an invocation called Mundara at a temple of goddess or Lord Shiva or Mujra. It is not Mundara, it is Mujra. Thereafter, it visits different villages and performs its new acts. According to the folklore, Asait Thakur was a transvestite. He would dress up as a Pavaiya. He would worship goddess Bahutraji, who blessed him with a masculine body. And the goddess passed on the dress discarded by Aida Thakur to Asait Thakur and gave a blessing that whoever puts on these clothes and performs in Bhavai, his kith and kin would never be cursed with a transvestite child. This is also accorded as the origin of Vesh in Bhavai. Apart from spiritual and historical imageries, the characters also portray social Vesh or embodiment. Modern day Vesh of Bhavai are classified as under Gajanan, Pavapurana, Shankar Parvati, Mahadev Vadi, Ganesh no Vesh, Kan Gopi, Kan Leela, Ras Leela, Krishna Janma, Brahman no Vesh, Dana Leela, Khodiyar, Ramdev Pi, Santoshi Mata, Gorakh Madi and Karwa Chauth. These are may be considered as the spiritual or religious Veshas, and other historical subjects like Ram Vanvas, Ram Ravan Yuddha, Raja Harishchandra, Raja Bhartruhari, Draupadi Vastraharan, Vasant Agman, Saptamati, Shet Shagal Shah, or the heroism with the Rajput heroes, Jashma Odan, Ramdev, Sindh Ran Waghela, Viko Sisodio, Hamir Ratan, Hothal Padamni, Jesal Jadeja, Veer Chamraj, Veer Mangdawalo, Veer Alam Jethwa, and so many were inspired by the Muslim rules such as Juthon, Chel Batau, Pathan, Bamaniyo, Mia Bibi, Fakir Nayak, and also related to other communities વણઝારા, કંસારા, દરજી, શરણ્યા, કુંભાર, ભોઈ, પુરુલિયો, ઠાકોરનો વેશ, બાવાનો વેશ, જોગી જોગણ, વાઘરી, મોચી, મારવાડી, કાઠી, and with romantic and social issues like મૈયારી, કજોડા, સાધુ અને સ્ત્રી, રાણા કુંવર, કુંવારી સતી, પાનેતરનો રંગ, પૂર્ણ સ્ત્રી, લખનસિંહની તલવાર, શેણી વિજાનંદ, નાગમતી નાગવાળો, અબોલા મોરદોલો, and such. The relation between stories and Vedic episodes are also very clear. The Bhavai acts would either be based on religious beliefs or pointing a finger towards the burning social issues of the era. At times, the Bhavai performers would undertake the pulse of the common people and perform these acts with appeal to the masses. Important aspects of Bhavai acts are episodes of religious significance, events related to the youthful days of Bhagwan Ram and Krishna, acts of miracle, social problems, romantic stories, tales of bravado or dairo, and horror stories. The subplots would often revolve around wife who doesn't listen to the husband, argumentative wife, foolish son, verbal clashes between wife and mother, clashes between mother-in-law and son-in-law, one-upmanship between sisters-in-law, unemployed husband and profligate wife, father who doesn't send his daughter to the home of her husband, and the husband trying hard to convince his father-in-law. The dialogues are key to the success of Bhavai performances. The dialogues are interactions between characters, is often conducted in very ordinary everyday language, using simple and short words and dialogues, not verbose or emotionally titillating. So measured were the dialogues and instructions and messages in Bhavai that the actors do not utter a word more than required. This establishes a connection between the spectators and performers. Let us look at a dummy interaction. There is this Thakur Chichuji. He says, "Oh Rangla, here we are in this village Ventpur and my home is Vanspur. I am aged 8 years and the Thakur is 28. Talking to the Thakur Rana is similar to putting one's hand in the mouth of a tiger. Let me tell you a story about a day when 4 visitors came to my home." So Rangla says, "Hey Thakur, so many people came together. Did they poke through a small opening in narrow wall? Who were they?" Thakur says, "One was Thakur Rana's father and other was my father-in-law. The third was brother of Thakur Rana and the fourth was my brother-in-law." So this dialogue shows the innocence, helplessness and candidness of the Thakur Tichoji. The comparison is simple yet beautiful. He was from Vanpur and Rana Thakur from Vaspur even exclaims how he is scared of Thakur Rana when he says that talking with our Thakur Rana is like putting a hand in the tiger's mouth. The Ranglo also sarcastically explains Thakur Rana's poor financial conditions as he says, "How did so many people peep through the thin wall?" As we have looked into the history and details of Bhavai, now we will also see what kind of music and songs were part of Bhavai and are part of Bhavai. Songs in Bhavai would convey vital points and be very lyrical. The wordings are so simple that could be an instant hit with the spectators, the audience. In many acts, the dialogues were delivered in the form of a lyric, that is like the arrival of Ganesh requires a lyrical song. So, he lambi lambi sundere ave malpato dundalo tame vigan harone mara deva valo maru dundalo. E lambi lambi sundere ave malpato dundalo. So it means venerations to the trunked, long trunked Dundalo, the big with the big stomach, God who we worship first before others. He is the one who provides prosperity and helps us achieve our goals. O God, ease my problems. And he also wears the ornamental belt on his waist. The Dundala, the Lambi Sunde Vado Dundalo, who blesses and helps one and all. O God, ease my problems. In another song from a very famous Vesh of Mahiyari, Mahiyari is the one who, the lady who goes to sell mahi, that is the curd, and it is a very popular character, and it's a daily routine thing in the village life of Gujarat. So, in that Sumati Vilas, he says, Sun Sajjan Mitra, આ સમયે સેલને કરવા ફરવા જવાનું મને મન થયું અને ઘોડાગાડીમાં રોજ રોજ હું માણું છું મેલ જવાનું અને આજ લાલ ધારું છું. He says, listen, O husband and friend of mine, this is the right time to go out on a lovely trip. I came to know and I enjoy roaming in the horse carriage and hold a wish to go to the palace one day. Normally in Bhavai, songs or playback songs are following rag. They are very simple and few rags which are used in Bhavai like Maru, Parach, Sohini, Desh, Soto, Prabhat, Ashavari, Kalyan, Kalingdo, Bilawal, Malkaus, Sarang and such. The notes are arranged as per the flow of the timing from dusk to the night. The first phase is Kalyan, then Sameri, then Ashavari. Then you have Sorat, Sarang, Desh. Third you have songs with notes from Paraj, Mewado, Lavani, etc. The roles of Bhavai songs, the notes which can be identified specifically include the following: Bhairav, Paraj, Bilas, Kalingdo, Desh, Mewado, and so much. Apart from the so many rags, there are various mixed notes that are identified, including mixed Khamaj, mixed Pahadi, and so many local folk tunes are always used extensively in the Bhavai songs. As we see the connection of music, dance and theatre, dance is a very important part of Bhavai. Dance is one of the most important elements, one can say, in Bhavai. In each act, every actor performs some or the other kind of dance and the story progresses further. Bhavai actors get dance training from their own ancestors, their forefathers, their fathers. They do not take any disciplined classical dance training. Therefore, the dance in Bhavai cannot fit into the mold of classical dance. But one can definitely discriminate and see some movements as in Kathak or some movements in some of the other dance forms if you really try and go into detail and bifurcate them. Each character makes a grand entry on stage with a signature dance step like digi digi tai, ta, ta 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 ta, ta 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 ta. And Ganpati enters the stage by dancing in a Thangan rhythm. Tai 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 tai. He is holding auspicious red vermilion, that is kumkum, in hand, and at times sprays in all direction as he dances. The character of Juthan, that is from the story of Jhanda Juthan, comes on the stage walking on his toes. He bends his leg as well as half of his hands and breaks into a signature dance. In the Jhanda Juthan act, Jhanda makes an entry by jumping from the height and twirling himself in a merry dance on the stage. Advo, another character, walks into the stage by keeping top half of his body arched backward and taking 1.5 steps. From the Jasma Odan, Jasma makes a graceful entry as if dancing in a ras manner. In certain scenes such as sword fights or fighting with belts, one can find distinct influence of Kathak in Bhavai dance steps. But this does not mean that Bhavai is based on Kathak dance. In fact, when the Bhavai performer is exhibiting his skill dancing while wearing ghungru, the bells on the ankle or on the belt, he uses moves similar to Bharatanatyam as well. But this again does not equate Bhavai dance with Bharatanatyam as well. Often Bhavai dancers mimic the walk and courtship dances of the birds, especially the way in which they take small jumps in their steps. Those who portray characters like Jerudi or Gorni are given encouragement via remarks such as Wah, 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 Chaklu, Chaklu, oh Wah, Wah, Chaklu, wow, hopping like a sparrow. The performers dance in a circle while jumping, swift jumping, hopping movements. Some form of jumps in Bhavai include standing jump, sitting jump, harmonious jump, synchronized jump, one-faced jump, and the jumping while twirling. So, something very similar to the Utplavanas as described in the treatise of Natya, all treatise and dance. Some forms of dance in Bhavai include Labdhamari, Antiapo, Dodyu, Beshnu, Khariryo, and such. In various dances of Bhavai, one can see elements of gymnastics and body balance. Dance movements include balancing on the sword, on the nakta, chattar moti, nakta, mirror balance dance, climbing on a ladder made of daggers, dancing while holding a puppet on a bow balanced on the teeth, doing ras steps while balancing 7 clay pots on the head, lifting handkerchiefs with the tongue, grooming oneself while dancing, displaying gymnastics, throwing shot put, needling a garland, stringing pearls using tongue, and so forth. These are the chalas of Bhavai, and they are to be learnt by each and every Bhavai artist. Even the beginning of Bhavai, the Avanu, that calling comes. After that, each Bhavai, traditional Bhavai, has a Garba, because Garba, the reason that Garba is the invocation and prayer to the mother goddess Amba, because Bhavai basically is a dedication, a worship to the mother goddess, and all the Bhavaiyas are the disciples of the mother goddess. So, this gives you a brief idea of what is Bhavai, and next we will go into the details of the costume, the music and makeup and so forth of Bhavai, and how it was presented earlier even today in the villages where it is performed, and what transformations have taken place in the city or the urban Bhavais. Thank you. Bye.